and I will share my screen. So I think I will start the meeting. Hi everyone. Welcome back to today's session organized by VODAN Africa and Asia. My name is Putu Hadi. So our agenda today is access. Access and control update. The first agenda is access and control update. Then the next agenda is CEDAR localization update. And after Alia update the CEDAR localization will be continued by Samson. He will present VODANA portal installation, and also we can have a discussion after that. So as always, try to keep our mic muted during presentation to prevent background noises. If you have any question while the presentation is going on, please type them into the chat box. And I will now hand over to Professor Miriam to start the meeting. Professor Miriam, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to announce some good news. First of all, we had a steering committee meeting today of the VODAN program, which was very good meeting, very well received, and many congratulations to the team for all the excellent work that was reported by Professor Francesca. VC was there as well. Also, there were contributions by Dr. Jamal and Dr. Wondimu. So this was all very good. So again, thank you from the VODAN Steering Committee for all of the excellent work. Bet was also there. It was a very good meeting. Then a second very positive announcement is that the article that we have submitted to Advanced Genetics from VODAN Africa has been positively reviewed. And so we have received some few comments, and with that we will be able to have that as a record of all the work that we have done so far. So that's also very good news. It was submitted with a broad community authorship from VODAN Africa. And this was also very positively reviewed, which was very nice. It was very nice to see that they thought it was very good representation of the real work that was done, and that the co-creation was really visible in the combined authorship. So congratulations to all of us for that achievement. Those were the two things, and what I missed on the agenda was a feedback on the special issue, because I think that Misha's here and will also report on that, Putu. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe it will be the last agenda.
All right. That's it from my side.
Okay, thanks, Prof. Miriam. So we will move to the next agenda. It is access and control update. I will share my screen.
And one more thing, Putu, I also missed on the agenda the update by the group of Dr. Sakinat, the pipeline dashboard group. That has also disappeared from the agenda.
Pipeline from Dr. Sakinat. So it will be update after access and control, and then Alia will update on CEDAR localization, and after that we will have a presentation from Samson. And I will share my screen now. So So this is update for access and control that we had a discussion yesterday. That's a really fruitful discussion. And first, I want to overview the communication progress. So we have 17 health facilities from Uganda, 21 health facilities from Somalia, 22 health facilities from Nigeria, one from Tanzania, 21 from Ethiopia, and 3 health facilities from Kenya. And based on our discussion yesterday, there are 3 questions emerged from yesterday discussion, and it is really important for us to answer this question. The first question is which kind of form expected to use for the VODAN Africa project, uh, Health Management Information System form or OPD register. So the answer is use OPD register form, because based on the architecture that we are we created in VODAN Africa project. So the architecture creates more granular information for the health facilities, and that architecture will complement HMIS in the health facilities. So we should be like confirm that the form that we use in the VODAN Africa is OPD register form. And the second question is, when the OPD register data submitted to the VODAN system, will the aggregated data move on the HMIS and cut the manual process? So this is really a good question. So the answer is yes. So there will be one-stop data entry, and then based on the architecture that from that one-stop data entry, and the data will be stored in the local repository, and from the local repository will automatically generates the report. So that's the answer, and then this process will cut the manual process in the health facility. And the answer also yes for if the data move on the HMIS or not. So that's the answer. And the last question is, suppose there are more OPDs registered in secondary facilities than primary healthcare facilities, how to capture all of the OPD data? So we have 2 options, but we still need to discuss about this because based on the context. So first, we can select the most relevant OPDs and or include more data stewards of one larger facility. So we can select, but it is based on the context on the each facility. So that's why we need communication. We need to ask from the communication topic list. So what is the condition from each hospital? So we can select the most relevant, or we can include more data steward in the bigger facilities. So that's the 3 questions that appear in yesterday's discussion, and we generate 3 ideas from our last discussion. First, the ideas is, so based on that question, so several questions such as number of OPD registers, number of service points, input frequency, and current speed of to input data should be added to the communication topic list. So that's a really good idea to put this topic list to the communication topic list, and then ask to the health facilities to make it more clear what happened about the how many OPD register, and also how's the time of the input data. And the second ideas is, we need a country specific meeting to discuss information flow from each health facility and decide what is the next plan for cover that each facility's information flow condition. So for the coordinator from each country, so can create a WhatsApp group or WhatsApp group to discuss about this, and can and if you don't mind, you can also invite Professor Miriam and me in that group, so we can know what is like more detailed things about what happened in the each facilities in each country. And the next agenda, Mariam will present next week about the information flow identification. So it will be a good start to country coordinator to know how Mariam do the identification of information flow. So that's the 3 ideas that that generate from yesterday's meeting. And Professor Miriam, so the next I have a question about this because it should be like more clear about the GDPR rules in VODAN Africa. So I think we should consider about this position in VODAN Africa, in the level of VODAN Africa, about the who's who of the GDPR in the level of VODAN Africa. So who is the data controller and who is data processor and supervisory authority and also data protection officer. So is there any comment, Prof. Miriam?
Well, it's maybe necessary to discuss this. We can discuss this at the level of the VODAN board. I think for today, the agenda is already heavy. So let's go to the next points. I don't want to miss out on Samson's presentation.
Okay. So we will move to pipeline group update from Dr. Sakinat. Dr. Sakinat. Okay, let's move to Alia's update because Dr. Sakinat is not here, right? I guess. Alia, please, we can move to your agenda.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So yesterday we had a CEDAR localization meeting, as usual on Monday. So we had a number of things discussed during the meeting. So the first part was Onto portal, so which is basically VODAN portal, the installation of it, which will be discussed and presented by Samson a little bit later on during this meeting. So we have identified and see how VODAN portal will look like and the branding things, and we're also figuring out how to pull up the terms into VODAN portal. So, and the second part was the second part of the meeting was dashboard creation. I don't know, I can update with few words. So if Dr. Sakinat is not here. So basically we had a few options regarding the dashboard. So presented by John Grable. So the first one is their Excel sheet. So where basically they use Excel sheet in order to run analysis using the instance codes and the instant identification numbers. And then that was the first option. Then the second option was Health Array platform dashboard, which has quite good visualization parts and which can be used also for our purposes. And the last option was CEDAR's own dashboard, which will be ready, like the trial version, in August or September this year. So basically we have decided that we need to discuss. So we were presented those three options, and we are still identifying what kind of dashboards will be most appropriate for our usage and serve our purposes. That's basically it. And I can add a few things about the training of data stewards. Last week we didn't have a training of data stewards, which was moved from Friday to Thursday. And this week we're going to have it on Thursday at 3 p.m. Central European time. So make sure you don't miss this time.
Is it not 8 on Thursday, maybe? Maybe it's again festival day. I don't know. Jamal, is it possible to have a training on Thursday?
Yeah, actually. Well,
I don't know. It's both 8 and also Christian Ascension.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, I don't know, but I can also propose that we can have the training as scheduled, and then I can send the recording of the training. I don't know if that works because, or would you prefer to move it to the next week? I don't know.
People are saying Thursday is a public holiday. So I think we just need to move it one more week, Aliyah. It's just really unfortunate, but
Yeah. Okay. Then, so at least we have identified that we will do the trainings on Thursdays, and
Alia,
then yeah.
Asia raise her hand. Do you want to speak,
Yeah.
Asia? Oh no.
Yeah.
Continue, Alia.
So at least we have identified that we would like to have those data stewards training on Thursdays. So and then we'll move the training to next week. Yeah. So basically, this is it from my side, and I would like to give the floor to Samson in order to present the installation of VODANA portal. So Samson, please.
if I may just add, Aliyah, that
Yeah.
on the dashboard creation, I think that the group is clear because the decision yesterday was that we would go with the co-creation on the CEDAR base. And Rudewan has informed me that he is also available together with Samson on the generic dashboard, and Getu and Yelene are available for the customized dashboards for the health facilities. Of course, they need to work together. So I think that this is a decision. Maybe we just need to make sure that we communicate this to John.
Yeah, sure. So because we didn't say anything to John and the team, so I decided to, so yeah, good.
Yeah.
And I would like to say I will be also happy to participate in this dashboard creation if possible.
That's good.
Okay, so that's it from my side.
Okay, thanks, Alia. So now I will give the floor to Samson to present the installation of VODANA portal. So go ahead, Samson.
Thank you, Putuk. May I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen now, Samson.
Yeah, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to quickly present why we need a VODAN portal, and then I'll try to quickly do a demo of where we stand as far as localizing and customizing it to our needs is concerned. So it's we are planning to create a terminology service based on Onto Portal, which is an open source community-based ontology repository. We want this to be able to create controlled and semantically rich vocabularies, which are going to be used as a terminology service for our minimum viable product. We are going to need a localized installation because in some of the clinics we want it to work. We want our system to work offline, but at the same time with the terminology service support. There are like BioPortal, AgriPortal, CPortal are some of the adoption of Onto Portal, which are on production. So VODAN portal is going to be one of them. This is, I think, the architecture. We are going to use the terminology service along with the embeddable editor. It has a licensing requirement, but fortunately, their licensing process is very quick. I applied for licensing, and they approved it in, I think, 1 day or so in using Makala University account, I think we will have to do it for VODAN as well, because they are support for non-profit, for research and other activities. And we might need also to create a logo, which I think the initial VODAN logo is very beautiful. I think the team that has developed that can also support in creating this. But for now, we created a temporary logo that's going to be used with the local installation. And while the technical issues that were challenging while doing the localized installation was in the initial documentation that is available online. There are some Ruby gems which are up to date and which are outdated, and we fixed those issues in the gemlog file, and it's working now. This is how we are going to use it. Our system is going to be a client system, and then for security reasons, we are going to have a proxy system that's going to pass to the terminology service. I think let me go to the presentation, the demo of how we install the appliance. This is an Oracle virtual machine. What you do is you go to import, and then you select the file which we download, and for those of you who want to try, and you go to the settings and then do some settings here, and when you click in open, it opens the portal like this on the virtual machine. What it actually looks like. So this is this is running locally. This IP address is a local IP of the machine. It says welcome to VODAN portal. This is the logo that I am talking about. This is just a temporary logo that we created, but I think it's the KIU team, which they are good in graphics, and I believe they will come up with a good logo. And it's possible to, this is the licensing that's been done. Here are the terminologies. We can create terminologies like this. The features are similar, of course, in fact, identical to Bio portal, and we'll be creating our terms here. Yeah, so this is basically the system. So this is going to hold our control vocabularies, which are going to be linked to the embeddable editor that was presented in our last time discussion. I think in the interest of time, this much is what I can say. This was Alia's presentation from yesterday on how she installed the requirements. For those of you who were not able to attend, I think she's shared it in the group as well. So this is a virtual box, the Bio portal, the Onto portal. So this is just as a quick reminder to anyone who wants to work on it. And we are planning to have another technical meeting to share on what has been done and to be able to progress on further issues. So anyone interested, I believe, can join us. I think Alia can say more on this as well. So thank you, Putu, over to you.
Thanks, Samson. So in the chat box, Professor Francisca said that excellent work, Samson, and this is so exciting. And also Professor Miriam to the team for the great achievement and great progress, Alia, Samson, and all. So is there any comment or question to Samson? You can raise your hand or please type your question in the chat box. So I didn't see any. Okay, I think we'll move to the next agenda. It's the update on terminology, update on the terminology overview by group Rudwan. Is Rudwan here? Can you update about this, Rudwan? Okay.
I think Thea is there. She's part of that group.
Hey, good people.
Yes.
So Rudwan and I had our meeting last week, and we spoke about some things that he needed to do fast. He told me that protocol, at least according to the University of Leiden, needed to be followed before we could get on board. So the first thing that he needed to do was to get in, paraphrasing, I'm not so sure if I'm saying it right, forgive me if I'm not, was to get it indexed, or to get our work indexed at the University of Leiden. And I think he was going to consult Aliyah or Professor Miriam for that. And then the second thing he wanted to do was to get a template for the terminology terms that we would then use, that we would then populate, because he said the template is already available. So he said that once he gets that, he would get back to us. So he's in charge of this project. So I'm pretty much following his guidance, but that's what he described, and we're waiting for his feedback. That's about it.
Okay, thanks, Tia. And we will move to the next agenda. It is update on the webinar with San Diego Supercomputer Center by Obina, including the consultation of the letter to WHO. Obina, can you?
Maybe before that, there's
yes?
a question of Dr. Raya.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Dr. Raya, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, and very nice presentation, Alia Samson. And I just because I come from the health background, and with what Samson has demonstrated, I was wondering the applicability of the platform, whether also there were, whether there are similar works by other institutions, like the WHO. They do have a Atlas, WHO Digital Health Atlas, or other similar services, other platforms. So would there be any similar initiatives? For the time being, I may not specifically mention, but when Samson was presenting, I had a feeling that there are also other similar initiatives, other services that may provide similar, like terminology services or platforms. So apologies for my ignorance, but is there any chance of reinventing the wheel by developing such dashboards, such platforms? So have we really checked that we are working something new or something that complements with other initiatives that we have around the globe? Samson, maybe, for instance, we have the ICD-10. We have in Ethiopia also this data dictionary pocket, you know, the mobile application we have for Ethiopia. So I was wondering, and I want to clear my ignorance. Sorry if I'm asking a silly question, but it has been coming to my mind while Samson was presenting. Thank you.
Is it a question for Samson, maybe? Samson, do you want to answer?
I think it's not a silly question as such. I mean, one of the reasons we chose, for instance, Onto Portal is not to reinvent the wheel. What I presented is not something that we did from scratch. It is something that has been there as a global good, which is an open source system which we will be using. And like you said, the national dictionary, Ethiopia also has a terminology service to realize its e-health architecture. But what we are creating here is we're creating a semantic dictionary that we will be using, and it's not going to be a system on its own. It's going to be a service for our system. But we are cognizant of not repeating what's already been done.
May I also add something? So I think Samson answered very well to this question. Thank you, Dr. Araya, for the wonderful question. Maybe a lot of people in this meeting are not clear about Onto Portal or VODAN Portal, why we choose this one. Because the initial point was using CEDAR, and then CEDAR automatically connects to terminology services, which is bioportal. So and then there was concern about the internet connection at hospitals or health facilities. So basically we decided to also make sure that all applications like CEDAR embeddable editor and terminology service can work offline. I mean, when there will be slow internet connection or etc. So this Onto Portal or VODAN Portal will work, will be installed in local machine and will work, will be connected to CEDAR embeddable editor, which will work offline. So this is basically the main thing that we also, why we also choose the VODAN Portal.
I think that the question of Dr. Raya is also a little bit more fundamental. It is the key thing is to create the machine readable language in residence and the data visiting, which, I mean, Beth can speak to this as well, but I think with the depth of going to clinical patient data, as far as I know, this is the first time that it is being developed. And in fact, even in the Dutch context, the LUMC and the group working on the personal health train is looking at this architecture as one of the possibilities to realize it. So to my knowledge, there is not any duplication as such, but we are building on existing tooling to make sure that we don't start from scratch. Beth, am I right in what I'm saying?
Yes, you are definitely right in what you were saying. I would also like to add maybe that one of the fundamentals that we started out with was the statement that the data should always stay under the control of the local owner. And that the data in principle should not travel when it's not necessary, or should not leave the country when it's not necessary. So that is how the whole element of the localization came up. CEDAR had a good solution for that. So then it is very logical that we use the same elements that have been used there in CASU, BioPortal. And because as soon as we can deliver that locally, then you basically have solved a number of problems. That doesn't mean that you could not also tap into other areas, but I think this is a very good start. And I think that this is the right choice also. And I have the feeling that it is not reinventing the wheel, but it is actually using existing wheels very much. That is my feeling at this moment.
Thank you, Beth. Very nice explanation. Dr. Araya, are you a little bit satisfied with a very good question?
Yeah, thank you so much. That's helpful. Thank you.
And there was also considerations on the same within the Kenyan team, but later in the program, I think that Putu will invite Dr. Reginald to speak to that as well. But first, there was another speaker planned by Putu.
Yes, thank you, Prof. So you, Miriam, would you also update on the research work integration? Because Professor Miriam asking in the chat box. Please, Miriam. Mariam. Okay, let's move to the next agenda first before we go back to Mariam. So next, the update on the yeah.
Dr. Mariam.
No,
it's Dr. Mariam.
Yeah, Dr. Miriam.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next agenda. It's an update on the webinar with San Diego Supercomputer by Obina, and also the consultation of the letter to WHO. Obina, you can update on that. Obina? Yeah.
Okay.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. The information is already, the letters that we're going to send to the speakers are ready. I think I just need to add some more information to it. Then we circulate it among the various stakeholders. So once it's approved, I think the letters are ready to go. Professor Miran, do you have anything to add on it?
Yeah, maybe just to say that, well, first of all, Obina, compliments again to you and the team. I think Samson was very right to comment the nice visuals from that KIU is always offering us, and you in particular. Also at the steering group meeting, Bet was there. They were very, very impressed with the media articles by VODAN Africa, and particularly the last update on the anniversary. People have really appreciated. So thank you for all that work that you are doing. There was a lot of appreciation for that in the steering group meeting, right, Bet?
Yes, absolutely. And I think I said it last week also. We were very pleased, and we shared it with a lot of other people. So that was, these were excellent updates. And I could feel at the steering committee meeting earlier this morning also that people appreciated this very much. So yes, absolutely, super job, super job.
Thank you, Bet, and Obina, congratulations for that. So we are planning.
Thank you, Prof.
You are very welcome. So we are planning now the San Diego, well, the VODAN Africa webinar with San Diego Supercomputer Center, and of course Go Fair, LUMC, Stanford CEDAR, and so on. So we are working on that. As step one, there has been contact with WHO, and this has been followed up by 2 letters that have been drafted by Obina. And the request is that we send this to the coordinators. Dean Bernard, Dean Jamal, well, the coordinators from the countries, to reflect on this letter and to have your input to make sure that it is really top-notch, because that's really very important. And I think that we can perhaps get quite high in WHO, but if we do, then country coordinators, we need to be very well in order with our ministries of health, because once we go high into WHO, the first that we know they will do is contact the ministries of health. So the question to you is if you can reflect on this, and if you have any considerations, if you can come back to me or Francesca or anyone, or Bina, on it, then we will make sure that we get this right. We need to really get this right. And with that, it would be nice to also hear the feedback of the meeting that was held in the ministry in Kenya today with Dr. Reginald. But maybe to finish my point on the webinars, so we'll be planning a number of webinars over June and then September and October. And the and any suggestions for that will also be really welcome. So also things that you think might be useful in relation to the hospitals or in relation to the ministries. If you say, you know, this is a topic that really could be highlighted by these webinars, we would like to know. And then Obina and I will be finalizing a draft program and get that back to this meeting next week for final consideration. Dr. Wandimo, I don't think I understand your question exactly. What do you mean? Are you talking about the NUFIC course on the data stewardship? Because that's a certified course.
No, Prof, just for this, because this VODAN data stewardship is starting from last year, but is there any possibility just to maybe like your certificate or recognition of, you know, the participant? Then that would be a good also when we start communicating other partner and then ministry, you know, that would also motivate, you know, all participants. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we should. Yes, I think we should. I think that we should. Well, we are actually training 2 tiers. So we have our VODAN data stewards group here. I'm also looking at Professor Francesca. I know she's behind and listening. So I'm watching the chat, Prof. But so the training by Alia on the CEDAR of the 30 data stewards here from VODAN Africa, we could give a certification of that, I think, from VODAN Africa. And then the data clerks from the health facilities, who will also be trained in relation to the embeddable editor, for sure, they can also have a certification. Then the other issue, the same words of certification about the whole verification of data, that is the domain of BID. And that is something that was discussed in the steering group meeting today. It's a completely different discussion. So if you allow me, Bert, I'll leave it for now. But we will also be discussing that in the VODAN board meeting and maybe at the end of this meeting. But here it means like giving a diploma to a data steward for the training. So it's a different issue.
Yes, that's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Wandimo, is this a good answer to you?
Yes, thank you, Prof. Yes, yeah, that's an excellent answer. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. So we'll take note of that. I think, Putu, this is part of our working group to make sure that this is also organized properly. So we'll pick that up. So we can go to the next. So I think this is it on communications for now. So I think we can go to Dr. Reginald for the feedback from the discussion in Nairobi this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. We had a meeting and I'll also ask Frederick just to feed in. As you already know, the policy of the Kenya government is also built from the grassroots upward. So what we have been doing in the last few months is to build the grassroots networks. So today was now the chance to have a meeting with the Minister of Health at the Nairobi County level. So right now we don't have the governor for Nairobi, but the county of Nairobi is run by national, it's called NMS. Fred, you help me there.
National Medical Services.
No.
National Medical
It
Services.
is
National Metropolitan Services.
yes,
called
National Metropolitan.
It's called the Nairobi Metropolitan Service.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay, okay. So the director for health is also representing the Ministry of Health in the county. So we had a meeting to go through what we are doing, and they're very excited about it because in Kenya we have what we call the big data. The big data is consolidating everybody's biodata on one chip. So you have a card that has all your details. But what they did not have is what we are calling fair data. So we hope this engagement is going to enrich what the government is working towards so that the data they have can also be fair, but also consolidate it in one common pool where everybody can at least access through the permission of the Ministry of Health. Fred, please just add a few points. What was concluded?
Sorry. Thank you very much, Dr. Reginald and everyone. So the meeting was a success in given the fact that the director MNS agreed to the formalization between VODAN and NMS as an entity, so that we begin to partner officially. And therefore, in the next couple of days, we'll be putting together all the paperwork that had been shared by Putu, all the hard copies. Then we print them out to be delivered to their offices for purposes of ratification and official engagement. Then, in addition to that, he had mentioned that NMS had actually recruited a couple of data stewards to be posted in different facilities within the metropolis. So because they're new into the system, this would be a very good opportunity to actually train them and be one of the first few foot soldiers of VODAN and the program at large as we continue to partner together. I think those are our next meeting should be in a week's time to follow up on the agreed formalization of the agreement, and thereafter we can chart a way forward officially.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Yeah, that is really very excellent news. So I think that these formal relationships with in Ethiopia with Dr. Vondimu and also support of Dr. Raya, and in Somalia, Dr. Jamal, and now in Kenya, they're really paving the way. And I feel that we need to build on that to then have the same conversations in Uganda and, well, Nigeria at the different state levels. That would be very, very good progress. So this is very good result. And thank you for those excellent efforts to engage at that level. I don't know whether Dr. Jamal, Dr. Vondimu, or Dr. Araya wants to add on the progress in their ministries of health at this point.
Maybe Vondimu can speak on this, or
sorry, Prof, please come again. I was
we were just reviewing we were just reviewing the progress in the meetings with ministries of health, which I know in Ethiopia is also solid, in Kenya is also solid now, and Somalia. So I just wanted to for you to briefly explain the current situation.
Yeah, thank you. Already we have a good communication with the ministry, because the regional health bureau is well informed about the progress, and we are providing the update information, and also we provide information about the VODAN and CEDAR project with the Ministry of Health. So just even now, Ephraim is working on the action plan for the implementation of CEDAR plan. Once we complete the action plan, we will communicate the ministry, because the regional health board bureau is already on board. So this is a brief update, and I think Putu already informed it yesterday. More than half of the health facilities confirmed, and they fill also the form, and some is rest. So they will agree to return the forms within 2 days. So we will have the complete information about the facility with this weekend. Then we will start, the implementation maybe then after the next week.
Very, very good news. And Dr. Jamal, maybe, Araya, please,
Yes.
Araya.
Yeah, maybe thank you, Wondumo, for all the progress and keeping the ministry updated. I just want to mention the other opportunities we have to approach the Federal Ministry of Health of Ethiopia and strengthen our collaboration. The Digital Health Research and Development Center at Mekelle University is currently working with the Federal Ministry of Health on some 6 key initiatives, but most importantly, the team from Mekelle University, or the center, I would say, me, Samson, Getu, and other colleagues are active members of the center. So we are working on a digital health blueprint, digital health policy, in partnership with the ministry. So the head of the Health Information Technology Directorate, Gamachis, and the state minister responsible overseeing the digital health activity. Her name is Alam Zahai. She is also closely working with us. So we can use this partnership that we have with the ministry to approach, to seek partnership from the Federal Ministry of Health. Wondumo, this is in addition to the capacity building mentorship program that Mekelle University, your university, Addis Ababa University, and other 4 universities are collaborating with the Ministry of Health. So maybe in the next few days, together we will approach the leaders of the ministry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arya. I think this is also another good opportunity to share our ideas with the Ministry of Health. Yeah, thank you. That's excellent.
That's wonderful. I don't know if Dean Jamal or Dean Chazovachi at this point also want to interject.
Dean Jamal was here, Prof, but he's not here anymore.
Yeah,
hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you very much. For today, we don't have much to say with regards to the update in terms of our progress. We are still finalizing on the Great Zimbabwe University clinics, and once we are done, we'll update you in due course.
Excellent, very good. And let us know if we can do also anything to support that, or to give information on the other country situations, Dean Burnett.
Thank you very much.
Great. Then I think it's the special issue, Putu.
Yes, I think we can move to the next agenda from the special issues. Misha, can you update on this?
Hey, can everyone hear me?
Yes, Misha.
Okay, fantastic. So for the special issue, we are almost there. Susan is, at least for the first publication, Susan is finalizing 3 extra articles, which will all be part of the first issue, and which will bring up the number of total articles we have completely finished to 10, and we are still sending her new articles. So yeah, so we're getting there. Also, if there are any questions regarding your article and I haven't answered, do send me a message. It's possible that I've missed it. Yes, we also looked at where each article, in which issue each article is best published. And so me and Professor van Rijzen went through that, and we split it up. So I'll post the sheet in the group chat now so people can look at it. And if there are any questions, please do send me a message or ask it here. Yeah.
Thanks, Misha, for the update. And is there any question or comment, or you want to add something, Prof. Miriam?
And maybe only just to say that now we are really firming up the first special issue. Everything green is in principle going there. So anything that should go in there but isn't in there, for instance, Mariam, the health information streams, or Putu, the open data, then I think you need to let Misha know whether and in what time frame that will be finished, because that window is going to close. That, Dr. Reginald, also counts for the article on fair equivalency in Kenya, which we should really have in special issue 1. But obviously we can't hold up 20 articles for one article. So the timetable there is becoming sensitive. So I don't want to add pressure. I think I am.
Yes, I will update to Misha after this meeting, and also maybe Mariam, you can also update the time frame for this.
Maybe yeah, Mariam, yes.
Yes, I'll most definitely give an update, but before before end of tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah,
that's fine. And Dr. Reginald, do you have any idea about the timetable of the Kenya team?
We met on Saturday, and now we are looking through some of the documents. I think I can only give you a definite chance on Thursday, Professor. We are meeting again tomorrow.
Okay, okay. I mean, it's not a matter of days. It's more a matter of weeks. But I think it becomes a bit more difficult if it becomes a matter of months, because we still have review process we need to go through with Feng Hong Liu. So at the tail end, we want to have the Kenya article on fair equivalency. It should be really all in the same special issue. But yeah, it would be a pity if that only came in September. That is kind of the range. But if it came in June, I think we will still manage.
I think we'll manage. By June, we'll manage. We are almost a quarter way, so we should be okay.
Great, super, wonderful. All right, that is everything from my side, I think, Putu.
I have a question.
Yes.
Obina is going to contact the WHO, and I'm curious to know which department in particular do we plan to contact for the purposes of this work?
There's not, I saw your question, but we are not targeting one particular department. In fact, we have across contact. So why? What is your thinking on it?
I have a few contacts in, and I thought maybe it would be interesting. You know, I interned there a few years ago, so I thought maybe.
Very good. So shall we? Yeah, shall we then include that in the preparations so that there's a conversation between
you
and myself, maybe possibly Obina.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Perfect. Good. Excellent. Over to you, Putu.
Yeah, thanks, Prof. So I think we can end the meeting, and so thanks everyone for your participation. So as always, the video recording will be the webinar will be available in all of the channels of VODANA Africa, such as a website, Slack, OSF, and also a WhatsApp group and YouTube. Thanks again for joining us. We will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Putu.
Bye.
Thank you, Putu.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Putu.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Bernard.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Oluwale.